What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Pure Buckets podcast. Today, we're gonna have a bit of a short video. We're gonna be discussing the Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets situation. Today, it's just me and Cole. So how you doing?
I'm alive, you know what it is. I mean, yeah, you guys can see it. It's just you can literally just see it just as me and Vibin. The other two, man, you're either gone or don't want to participate in this one. So, yeah,
Yeah, it is what it
as Vibin
is.
said, this is gonna be this is obviously this is not like a in-depth dive into any number-related stuff. It's just really addressing the recent drama, I guess you could call it, that ended up not really being any drama. So, where do we start, Vibin?
Okay, so I think we can just start right at what caused. Oh, again, let's go all the way from back from the beginning. All right, so the Brooklyn Nets sign Kevin Durant, and did they sign KD before or after Kyrie?
No, Kyrie was the whole. No, Kyrie
Oh
was
no, he was already
there,
there.
and the
Kyrie's
whole
already
reason
there
KD went there instead of New York Net or Knicks was
because they had
because
Kyrie.
yeah.
So KD and Kyrie are on the Nets. They have a nice team there. Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. They have a nice squad. And then they notice Houston has a bit of trouble going on, so they trade for James Harden. So now they have the big three of James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, the league is over. There's no. How do you stop this?" Fast forward a year later, it didn't. There's a lot of injuries. Didn't really work out. And then what? Another year later, James Harden's gone. Right?
Yeah,
So
well, he left
yeah, he was traded.
mid-season. Yeah,
Yeah, he was traded for Ben Simmons.
this season.
Yeah, this past season. He was traded for Ben Simmons and a bunch of picks, I think.
Oh yeah, it was a
Yeah,
massive trade
which those picks could be huge, dude.
for the
Okay, anyways,
Rockets. Yeah, for us Rockets.
yeah. So and then we are where we are now. So because Kyrie Irving didn't want to get the vaccine, he missed out on about half the season, and a lot of players were like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like we know Kyrie Irving creates drama, whatever team he goes to, right? He had drama. He had a little bit of drama in Cleveland, and he had a lot of drama in Boston, and then even more drama over here in Brooklyn, which is why the front office was a bit hesitant to give him a long-term contract. Because I don't, you gotta think about it. You're gonna be paying a 35-year-old Kyrie $60 million. You don't even know if he's gonna play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they were hesitant on re-signing him. And then Kyrie basically said, "If I don't get this, I want to trade." And he even listed teams that he'd like to go to.
Yep.
And I think at the top of the list was the Lakers, which a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, oh my God." Lakers fans especially were like, oh my God, it's crazy, I can't wait." And then you go a little bit further, and Kyrie's like, "Okay, just gonna pick up my player option." And then he's staying on the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, KD did say if Kyrie leaves, he also wants to trade,
Yeah.
I believe, right? So
Well,
that's
it
what,
was. Well, we don't really know. Obviously, like the full
sure, it
extent
was
of
like a
that.
rumored.
Hmm.
Yeah, to be honest, it's an interesting situation. They have a year left, I think, before everything goes terrible.
Really?
If If this season goes badly, I assume Kyrie is gone.
Well, what it said was the report was how he's opting in, and apparently he's committed to his full 4 year, his 4 year like what he said. I guess I don't know if that's maybe saying that this is the fourth year or 4 years going forward with Kevin Durant. I don't know
I think it
exactly.
means this being the fourth year.
Okay.
I think that's what that means, and I think he's just picking up his player option to fulfill that original contract.
But yeah, I
And
mean,
then,
these 3 seasons in Brooklyn have been completely filled with just. I mean, some of it's injuries, but some of it's like, a lot of personal issues. So like the first season with Brooklyn, he only played. It was the lowest game. People actually forget about that. He played more games this season than he did in his first season with Brooklyn. He only played 20 games in 2019-2020. Obviously, that season. Oh, it wasn't actually shortened because. Or how many games did they? How many games did Brooklyn themselves play? Let me see.
not too many. Were they in the bubble? I don't think so.
Oh no, Brooklyn that season still played 72 games.
Okay, that's
And
still a solid sample size.
yeah, 72 games. They only played 20 of those games, and that's because that was the first season that KD pulled up. But obviously, he tore his Achilles in the previous finals, and so since his guy wasn't there for the entire season, he was also battling like shoulder pain and season-ending surgery in the end of it. But he only played 20 games. Next season, he played 54 in that 2020-2021 season, and that's when he became an All-Star again. and that was also 72 games. So that was like pretty good, but he still ended up missing 18 games. And then obviously everything that happened this year, only playing 29 games. So the fact of the matter is that he's missed more games in his Brooklyn years than he's played games, which can't happen. And he's getting, and all of that by the way is fully guaranteed money. Now if it's like injuries where it's like Clay's injury where he's like he literally cannot play, or a Kawhi where he's out for the season because he tore his ACL, stuff like that, it's different. So that's why I give him a little bit of a bypass in that 2019-2020 season, because he eventually did have season-ending surgery. But a lot of it, I know he didn't play because he was just like, well, KD's not playing. The team's kind of like mid. And so it wasn't going right. And so he's like, well, I'm just going to take care of myself then, even though I should be on the court playing. I know he took a lot of games off. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of... Okay, I'll ask you this question. Are you happy that he stays in Brooklyn?
I usually would be like, I love drama and stuff happening, but to be honest, I am glad that he's staying there for another year. We have yet to see a season where KD and Kyrie Irving can just play the whole season. We just haven't seen it. Imagine what they could do if they could actually have an entire season to play together. I think they could still be a contender if they mesh well, which it's not as certain anymore, but I think if it works out, they could still be a contender in the East at least. I think it's good. It's good they're staying there. But if they do mess up this year, and like if it goes wrong and they're like a first round exit or like they even miss the playoffs, hopefully, hopefully not. I think it's over for Brooklyn.
Well, I don't think they're gonna miss the playoffs. They're not like the Lakers.
Okay, that was unnecessary.
Well, I mean, we were talking about the Lakers. Do you think? Do you think the Lakers needed Kyrie?
The Lakers have so many issues that are beyond just adding Kyrie. Well, getting rid of Westbrook would help fix a lot of those issues, but I don't. That's not the direction they're heading in.
If they got Kyrie, though, I don't know who said it to me.
They'd be solid.
No, but if they got Kyrie, would they get rid of Westbrook? I said no.
Well, you can't have Kyrie and Westbrook. That doesn't work.
What do you mean?
It just doesn't work. What do you trade for? I guess you give away AD.
Wait, you're telling me that? No. You're telling
No,
me
the package that the Lakers offered the Nets involved Russell Westbrook and other pieces.
Did it really?
Yes, and the Nets were not interested. So they did give a package that's centered on Russell Westbrook. So if they were going to get Kyrie Irving, they're going to lose Russell Westbrook, which would have been great. I just don't see a team where you have Bron, AD, Kyrie, and Westbrook. How does that work? I just don't. There's only one ball. It's not going to work like that. So you can't really make that work.
No, absolutely. But
what do you?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, go ahead.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Okay. So what do you think happens if like what you think KD will stay if the season goes wrong?
Well, what is going wrong? Like missing the playoffs?
Missing playoffs / first round exit again.
Okay, well here's the thing, right? Here's what it comes down to. So KD right now is on a 4-year contract with him.
Yeah.
And I think it was Stephen A that was breaking this down, and it was very interesting. It was very interesting analysis. So like, a lot of people when they have like a 1 or 2 year deal left on their contract, they have a lot of like power, I guess, in their hands over the organization, especially if they're like a very high profile player, because the team kind of wants to re-sign them for the most part. Like when you think about like high profile players like superstars. Obviously, a team. What team is going to want to get rid of a superstar, right? But when Kevin Durant is on this 4-year deal, again, I'm paraphrasing, by the way, it's kind of like the team has more leverage than what they would have had, with just regarding Kevin Durant, right? And so, but KD's not going to want to leave. I feel like if it's between Kyrie or KD leaving first, it's going to be Kyrie. Like, KD's not going to leave first.
I believe that. Yeah, I can see that.
Because Kyrie, he accepted this deal, and that's right, whatever, right? It's just a 1-year player option. After this next season, he has to negotiate again. There's no option, anything. He's a free agent, unrestricted free agent, and he's gonna obviously try to get the super max or whatever max, probably from Brooklyn, but it could be anywhere because who knows how next season's gonna turn out. But I don't see KD leaving Brooklyn unless Kyrie leaves after next season.
Yeah, he definitely will leave. Kyrie leaves. He already said that. But yeah, I do agree with you thinking that KD will not leave first. I
Yeah.
can see that.
There's no way he'll leave first.
Imagine the damage to his reputation if he leaves first. He's gonna get damaged regardless. But I just, at this point, anyone saying that Kevin Durant is higher all time than Steph Curry just doesn't make sense anymore.
Well, it depends on like what they talk about, right? If
Well,
they
there
talk
are.
about pure, if they talk about, it's hard. Like in every category, like most categories, I have like obviously I agree with you. I have Steph Curry above Durant. Like if I had on my all-time list, I definitely have Steph Curry above. But if you just talk about like just a natural basketball player and ability, it's probably Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I mean, he's had good opportunities, but I don't think he's been able to stick with that one team for his whole career type thing.
Yeah.
I think Curry's just had better opportunities. Also, KD did also like the rings he did won. Even if I'd seduce it, they're a bit fraudulent. They're still rings. He still has 2 rings,
Hmm.
but those rings are just in comparison. He's never won a ring with him being the sole superstar, right? Steph has done that twice, so I think
Hmm.
until he does that, he still has something to prove in this league. To be honest.
By the way, what's an interesting? They've been in Brooklyn 3 years now. You know how many games Kyrie and KD have played together on the court at the same time?
30.
44.
Oh my god. Really half a season. It'll be a little bit over half a season, like, oh my.
If you want perspective, so that's 44, right? Now watch this.
Out of?
LeBron and Anthony Davis. Because I'm pretty sure they've been on the scene the same amount of time. Wait, I have to type in LeBron, not just James. They played 108 games together.
And you think they miss a lot of time.
And
That's
yeah,
even
we talk
worse.
about how AD misses all the time. Kyrie and KD are on the court 44 games together.
Over a span of years. Like, dude, that's crazy. There's a lot for them to do in Brooklyn.
I mean, they have Ben Simmons, though. I
That
always forget about Ben
I
Simmons.
forget that, yeah. I really hope he plays, to be honest.
And Joe Harris comes back.
He kind of frauded in
They
the
have-
playoffs. Probably
Yeah,
ignore
but
that.
they still have Patty Mills. Their roster is actually not bad. They're kind of they don't have the depth that a lot of other teams do. But the roster isn't honestly that bad, if I'm being completely honest. They got Dragic, who played actually pretty good. I feel like in some of the games against the Celtics in the playoffs. Again, they still have Seth Curry, which is insane to think about. They got our favorite role player, Bruce Brown.
Legend.
They even still have Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond.
What?
Like I feel like the roster isn't actually that bad. It's a pretty good roster.
They haven't been able to play with a consistent roster for a long
Yeah,
time.
they have no. You know how many players played last season for the Nets in the regular season? 24 different people.
Oh my god.
That's
Yeah, it's like,
ridiculous.
How do you do anything with that? It just makes it extremely difficult,
Yeah. I just hope Kyrie meshes better with the team. Because also, I think, did you see like the thing with Steve Nash? Apparently, that's how bad it got. These are reports, by the way. Is that Kyrie would, because Kyrie, we know him as like Mr. He just does whatever he wants to do kind of thing. Well, what he would do is that after Steve Nash would have practices with the team, Kyrie would take the players and would conduct his own practices.
Seriously?
Well, that's just reports. Like I wasn't obviously there, but
Oh yeah.
but apparently
better not be true.
that's been like like there's no respect. So I think that's also why they wanted Steve Nash, because Steve Nash has no coaching experience, and therefore I feel like Kyrie can kind of get away with certain things.
Yeah. Just being a star in the league gives you so much leeway. I don't know. How does Steve Nash react to that? Is there anything about that?
No, I have no idea.
I assume he's just pissed, but I mean, it's fair to be mad about that. Like, come on, man.
Whatever.
Kyrie just caused so many locker room problems.
All right, I guess we'll ask one more question. If you had to take As presently constructed, if you had to take either the Nets or the Lakers going into next season, who would you take?
So many variables here, but I'm gonna have to stick with LeBron.
You're gonna have to go Bron. I'm gonna go with Brooklyn.
Yeah, yeah. Just depends. I don't. If Lakers get it together, but and not have a lot of hella injuries, they're sitting nice.
Because both of those
Which
teams have been absolutely demolished by just certain differences. But if both of those teams were fully playing on the court together, that's obviously what everybody always expects of every team going in. But obviously, it's never going to be the case. Not every team is going to be perfectly healthy all the time.
Yeah, it just never works out like that.
Yeah, it's not going to work out. But if you had to take the Nets to the Lakers, you said you'd take the Lakers?
Yeah, I would. I just believe a healthy Lakers would beat a healthy Brooklyn Nets. But that's a big if because I think y'all forgetting just how good AD is when he's playing. Like when he plays, that man is different. When he plays like he usually does, it's been a long time.
Okay, right now, would you rather have KD or Bron?
Well, that's kind of tough, bro. Bron kind of old, you know.
Well, I'm asking you this question. You gotta answer it. We're breaking this down.
Right now, if I had to have one,
yeah.
Okay. Going into next season, I think I'd rather take. Oh, that's so tough. I'd probably take KD.
Okay, would you rather have Kyrie or AD?
AD for sure.
I feel like you're contradicting yourself now, but.
What you mean? About what?
Because we've had previous videos recently where you said there was literally a hot take where someone said.
No, that was because I said that because AD is so injured lately that he's just kind of not it.
Yeah, and now you
anymore.
just said AD over Kyrie because bro's injury prone.
Here, let me explain AD. Lately, he's so injury prone. You saw that video of him saying, "I haven't shot a basketball in 6 months."
I still don't know what to think of that. I actually don't know if that's that big of a deal or not.
That is a big deal, I'll tell you. But that just makes when he plays, he drops like 20 and 10. When he used to play, he dropped 27 and like 14, bro. You don't do that no more, which is what's scary. So I don't know. It just kind of depends. You're like, which version of AD are we getting?
Going into next season, would you rather have Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving? They're both playing.
See, okay, they're both playing like full.
Yeah, well, because the only reason Kyrie didn't miss hella games this year is because of the whole vaccine thing. That's literally ineffective next year. That doesn't matter.
Then if you take it out of the situation, then just say that he plays, Kyrie probably be a little bit better.
Okay, and then would you rather have Ben Simmons or Russell Westbrook next season?
Ben Simmons for sure.
Okay, so then how are you saying the Lakers if you take all three Brooklyn Nets big three over every Lakers big three? And the Nets have a better roster.
Listen.
That makes no sense.
No,
And the Lakers are in a worse conference.
I take the Lakers next season because I am a bit biased.
Yeah,
I'm a bit biased to Bron and his team, okay?
I can't believe this. This is going to be a clip for sure.
I think if they're healthy, they could have another finals run on their hands. They could. It all comes down to Anthony Davis. I'm telling you, that's all it comes down to.
I'm telling you right now, if Lakers don't make any moves, if this is the team going into next season, even if they're fully healthy, the championship window is gone.
What do you mean?
I'm being honest. I don't think it's there anymore unless if they go into free agency and they get nothing out of it, which they are looking like they're gonna do something, because like they're the only team going for Kyrie, they're the only team going for so many other players. Like they're trying to get anything, because that's how Vivian. They're trying to get something on like every player because they know how bad of a situation they're in right now that other people don't understand.
Yeah. Listen, it can all change at any moment. All right, they're not gonna make any big trades, but they might make it work. They might just figure it out. Okay.
Bro, they have no big man depth at all. Zero.
Listen, I'm just biased, bro. What you want me to say?
Do you want me to tell you the 4 big men that they have on the roster when Anthony Davis isn't playing?
I don't think Dwight Howard's still, right?
Dwight Howard, and then they have Carmelo Anthony at the 4, which is not even right. But then they have Wenyen Gabriel and Stanley Johnson. You know the Lakers only have 2 people on the team that are taller than 6'9". And there's Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard.
Oh, taller than, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
They're both 6'10". They have nobody above 6'10" on the roster.
Bro, I have nothing to say but bias. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm just biased towards any Braun team. Cause I just feel like he's still got it in him
I don't know what to
to
say,
just
man.
go crazy and like maybe he can't carry like he used to, but I feel like just even a slightly healthy AD that can make a run.
Slightly healthy.
Yeah, like if AD plays 60 games this season,
60 games is not slightly healthy. That's like properly healthy.
eh, fine,
I would say
whatever.
slightly healthy is what he played because he played half of the games last year. That's slightly healthy.
No.
Whatever.
Ah,
Regardless, the Kyrie situation is very interesting because I feel like it was a whole thing. I feel like all the reports, like I said this before we started recording, I feel like all the reports about Kyrie are actually accurate, but I think he did all of it just to completely throw off the media because that's how much he hates the media.
I wouldn't even be shocked if that's what he did.
I would
There's
not
so
be
many
shocked.
interviews where he just messing with the interviewers.
Did you
Just
see?
like he
He
just
literally had an interview where someone asked the complex person, like for the complex, said, "Are you gonna play with the Nets next season?" And he said, "Ha ha," and he just didn't answer it. Like he clearly doesn't want to address those
rolling.
kind of questions. But then thing comes out, oh, he's opting in. Oh, he's committed. Like, what are we talking about? So I don't know. But whatever. The situation is very interesting, and I'm actually very excited that the Nets are still together because I cannot imagine Kyrie and KD just both leaving and then leaving Ben Simmons by himself on the Nets.
Dude, imagine how depressed he'd be.
I actually would not. I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. I don't want to see Ben Simmons alone.
He cannot carry a team alone.
Maybe that's what he needs though. For all I know, maybe he needs that soul handle development team where he's the star of the team. I don't know.
I feel like a player like Ben Simmons, you can't expect every single player. The last thing before you cut it, but I feel like you can't expect every player to just be like, I want to win a billion rings. I want to be the guy. I want to
No,
lead the
yeah,
league. Some guys just be like, you know what? I'm playing basketball, trying to win,
yep.
and I'm getting a paycheck, a big
Facts.
paycheck.
Shout out to my
And
boy
that's
Bradley
just
Beal.
literally that's just how some players are, and you can't hate on them for it. You can, but like, who cares? They don't care. They're making
Exactly.
millions of dollars. They're chilling.
Literally $250 million for Bradley
Just-
Beal.
But what does bro do? Miss the playoffs every year?
He's on the Wizards, bro. Well, honestly, you know what I've been thinking? Well, not really. I've always had this opinion, but I feel like people just don't understand this sometimes. Like, it's the same thing with Dame and like other mans like Dame and then obviously now Beal. Like, we're in the age where people, if they want to win, they said, "Oh, okay, well, let me just go leave and then go to a nice establishment." Why don't you just, if you really like your place and you know you can get your bag, you get the bag and then you basically tell management like, "Yo, get an actual team around me." Like, the only reason I'm signing with you guys is because I actually believe that we can win here. When I'm here, just go. You guys be the ones that recruit people.
But it's not that easy though. Easier than done.
I know,
Lots of
but
teams.
I'm saying from a player perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if I'm Bradley Beal, I can either go join and win, or I can win by getting the team that I care about and my bag, and get the pieces around me. I don't want to be the piece. I want the pieces around me.
That's a good quote. I don't want to be the piece. The pieces around me.
Gotta have him
That's
around
fire.
you.
That's what Giannis did, and it worked.
Now,
It can still happen.
yeah. But now, is Bradley Beal a centerpiece of a team to win?
No.
I wouldn't say that. But I would say if you get another man on his level, because in basketball, all you need is 2 superstars, and you are highly contenders. You get another guy like Bradley Beal on the team, or someone that complements it, that's more of a defensive kind of guy. I mean, that Wizards team all of a sudden just becomes deadly. So,
Nice step too with the. Don't sleep on Kuzma. Don't sleep on Kuzma.
I don't know. I think Kuzma's numbers are kind of inflated, but
Yeah, they are, but like he's not as bad as Lakers fans said.
no, yeah, no. He definitely developed a lot this season.
And
with the
Dinwiddie?
Wizards.
Dinwiddie? Don't forget Dinwiddie. Wait, no, he's not there anymore. He's on
facts.
Dallas, right?
Yeah, he's in Dallas.
Hey, he cold though. He cold.
Whatever. All right. Anything else to say before we cut this one off?
Season gonna be good.
Facts.
Oh my God.
I think that's just a testament to how, I wouldn't say boring. I don't know the right word, but like we already like kind of just threw away these finals. Like, we're already moving on. I think that's how much we don't care about the Warriors winning. On God.
Well, not like any of us are Warriors fans.
I know, but like the Bucks one, I cared more. It just felt better for some reason. The Warriors one was so lame to me. I'm more hyped. I was more hyped for the offseason and the Woj bombs than the winner of that chip. I won't lie.
Yeah, it was kind of sleeper. I mean, it was cool to see Curry win by himself, but like not without another superstar. But like
I say nobody can win by themselves.
that Bucks championship was fresh. That was so fresh.
Yeah. All right, well, guys, make sure to go check out the links in the description to our the socials is whatever, right? But go check out the TikTok is what matters the most.
And we dropping vids
Yeah.
daily at the moment. What we have, yeah.
Yep. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.